Hello! This video is going to be a bit different because my lamp broke in my room that I used to light up myself during recordings. And the other lamp that I have in my room has a movement sensor that goes out. So I have to either film in other rooms or dance like a maniac throughout the whole recording. And I do not want to dance like a maniac while talking about Squid Game, so...
Oh, hello. Haven't seen you there. This? Yeah, this is a Spanish version of One Punch Man 21 that... Where was I? In this video we will answer the age-old question. Who is Squid? Does he have game or is it a challenge?
Squid Game is, for everybody that didn't know already, the biggest show Netflix released to this day. The South Korean show follows a bunch of poor and desperate people having to compete in a life or death game for a prize money of 45.6 billion won or 34 million euros. You thought I'm gonna translate it in dollars? No, European Union first, bitches! With every person in the game being worth a certain amount of money, and when they die, this money gets added to the prize pool. In the end of the show, it turns out that the whole game was just an entertainment for rich people who got bored one day and thought, let's put some poor people in a game for life and death and make them kill each other. The whole show is criticizing capitalism as well as rich people being too rich and too powerful, and yeah, how they treat people that are lesser than you, as well as what people would do for money if they're desperate enough.
So what exactly is the show about? Capitalism bad. Oh my god, take those Emmys. Here. Thank you.
This is the whole thing. And this is why people boycott or hate this show, because it's exactly what the show does not want to do. And it would be really, I don't know, misinterpreted if you do a Squid Game yourself as a rich guy. But yeah, nothing like that
A local millionaire decided to recreate this game in his warehouse in South Carolina.
Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber on YouTube, shocking, right? Decided after a TikTok to recreate the show in form of a game show. Then a bunch of tweets, a Brawl Stars sponsorship, and a funny avocado animation later, everything was ready to go.
The rest is history. The video got praised, with a lot of people really enjoying themselves watching this video, as well as a lot of people speculating that this is going to be the first video to hit 1 billion subscribers without being either a music video or specifically for kids.
Now, after hearing how positive this video by a random YouTuber was, a company might think to themselves, hey, if this guy can do it in his warehouse in North Carolina, we can do it. We as a big company like... My Alexa just went on. Now that I said your name, you're not gonna respond? It took Netflix around 2 years to recreate Squid Game in real life. And instead of praise and excitement, Netflix received an angry mob. Angrier than Logan Paul after CoffeeZilla released the video zoo coins. The show since released or since announcement only sparked controversy. Contestants even considered to sue the company because of injuries they received on set. But let's take a look into the show. Also, I wanted to mention that while writing the script, only 5 episodes have been released, and I don't know who has won yet. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the rest of the show. Maybe if you like, subscribe, share the video, tell me how awesome I am in the comments. I might consider doing a part 2. For now, I'm just going to focus on the first 5 episodes and more on the challenges as well as things that I found interesting or that I had problems with. My name is Gal and I do not have an intro. Please stop accusing me of that. Let's start with the show. The show starts with everybody entering the red light, green light room, which was for some reason chilling -3 degrees Celsius or 27 degrees Fahrenheit, like one person told us in one of her TikToks. Before we continued, I wanted to criticize the fact that Netflix made us believe the duration of the game was 5 minutes, but in reality, those guys were in there for hours. These two facts explain two things to me: them putting their hands inside their pockets, like mom over here, as well as people tossing themselves onto the ground to lay down.
Plus, props on this woman for holding a squat for around 10 minutes. Or this is what this TikToker claims. A lot of people talked about lawsuits surrounding this show, and 90% or at least 100% of lawsuits that I could find in the internet, or articles that claim that there are going to be lawsuits, were about this game. Because this game caused a lot of contestants to get frostbite as well as serious injuries, or at least this is what the contestants claim. Netflix itself claims that there were medical professionals on set checking every contestant if there is any serious injuries, and those couldn't really find nerve damage or frostbite in any contestant or other serious injuries. What I assume is that a lot of people that lost a lot of money during the Squid Game that lasted a while just want to get a paycheck out of their suffering, and they are going to do that by suing. By the way, the show wasn't shot in America, it was shot in January in Britain, which explains the low temperature in the facility where the first game was played. I just wanted to mention that.
But if you thought freezing to death was bad, let's go to part 2. Psychological torture, as well as how to break your contestants. Because here in Squid Game, we do not give a squid about our contestants. To stay as close to the source material as possible, the people had to live in this big ass warehouse like they did in Squid Game. Meaning they wouldn't have anything else except 4 walls, a few bunk beds that kinda seem illegal to sleep in, as well as 1 shower and toilet facility, or at least it looks like they only have 1 mixed gender neutral toilet and bathroom, which, oh my god, it doesn't look like it suits 200 people, which they were 200 people after the first game. And I am I'm thinking to myself how disgusting this toilet must look. They were also advised to take care of this facility themselves, meaning that nobody would help them. They were janitors. I would hate it in there. I would hate it so much. A lot of reality shows rely on conflict, meaning that they're going to do everything so people start arguing and something entertaining happened. Like, for example, tall ceiling, bright light, a lot of people in one place are just really standard things that a lot of reality TV or game shows like these tend to do. Even Mr. Beast does it with his circle videos where there's bright light, a lot of people in one place, and not a lot of privacy. Netflix Squid Game though pumps shit up because not only are there a lot of people at one spot, there is 0 privacy, none entertainment, meaning not even a Carl that makes fun of you every now and then and screams something into your earbuds. There are waking calls, certain hours where you are allowed to sleep, as well as 0 sunlight. To that is added small food rations that do not taste so very good. Didn't stop 161 to take a second bite though. No spare clothes to change in, only underwear, no sunlight or a clock so you know which time it is, only daytime, nighttime. No other entertainment than your fellas. Oh my fellas. Dun, dun, dun. Well as a possibility to get voted out randomly.
In between the main challenges, there were little exams throughout the time where players just chilled in their room. During one cooking session in the kitchen, 2 of the contestants got to decide if they want to kick out a player or give someone an advantage in the next game. And they decided to kick off, even though by now they don't really know each other, so it was made at random. And with at random, I mean the only guy that introduced himself to everybody because he tried to be nice. That didn't work. So yeah, they kick him off.
Now, like in every TV reality show, we get interviews with people. This show provides two different kinds. One's interviews before entering the mental torture chain, and one after or during the breaking process. This is when we get introduced to some main character like 161, who is the baddest bitch in there, stealing food, and just look at him. There is the mom and the son duo that was really shine upon. The Kambu gang with one of the oldest guys and his bestie mullet man. This is actually what he got introduced. He saw another guy with mullet and they were like, hey, we are mullet gang, we're the mullet gang. And the villain, 432.
Now let's come to another problematic thing in the Squid Game. One thing that a lot of people mention, as well as Charlie Moist Critical. And I don't know where they have this information. Either the Hunger Games star was also on set as one of the contestants, but got cut out of the whole show, or he just made it up. Because a lot of people claim that there are contestants trying to sue Squid Game for falsely portraying them. And I have to say that in a lot of reality shows, as well as in news outlets, they cut your person and all your movie scenes to fit a certain narrative. Meaning, if they decide that you are going to be the good guy, they're going to mostly show sympathetic clips of you. If you should change characters throughout the show, they're going to firstly show something bad that you did and then push you up and show only good things. They can really edit you to say anything.
But I couldn't find any defamation lawsuit against Netflix because of the show. Charlie in particular talked about people claiming that they had to play characters in the show. So Charlie called me a stupid buffoon, but I could not find anything to back that claim up. The second game, the one with the how is it called? Wait. Second Squid Game name. Honeycomb game. The second game, the Honeycomb game, starts now. Here everybody is asked to build 4 different lines in front of 4 different signs. At first I thought that they're doing it in the same way that Mr. Beast did it, with every number is attached to one sign, or every sign is being turned around and then there is an umbrella, a star, a triangle or a circle on it. But no, we are doing it different here. From each line, the first person is asked to go in a separate room where they have to decide which person or which line is taking which shape. And if they cannot decide who takes which shape, they all are out. Let's look at why 432 was such a villain. Well, during the second game, the first 4 people of each line had to go into the separate room and decide who is going to get which. And during that, 432, who was in the third group that did it, the first 2 guys just couldn't decide, started to attack 299, who was tearing up, crying, and really not well. He decided to just relentlessly bully him and target him specifically, even though he already kinda was on board with just picking Umbrella. It was so unnecessary, and after picking Umbrella and knowing what he just did, he almost started vomiting, which, yeah, happens. I have that too. If something really bad just happened and I'm really sad, I would like to vomit. Natural reaction. Well, 432 always repeated, oh my god, no, oh my god, what are you doing? What? Man up and stuff like that. And yeah, it kind of was a coping mechanism, because when he was asked to go into this room, he later said in an interview that he was too on the verge of tears and almost burst out crying, and I think that actually it was just a coping mechanism of him to not start crying himself and be like, no, I'm gonna take the umbrella, and have like this anime main character moment. But sadly, this didn't happen, and 299 was not treated well. Everybody off his line hated him, and while fighting not to vomit and cutting out his spit-filled honeycomb, he gets eliminated and dies. The end. After the game ended, 299 made a few TikToks talking about his experience on the show, and he said, or at least he claims, that he always intended to choose Umbrella just to get it over with.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
He also told us that during the game, only 40 people were actually playing and the rest had to pretend to play. And he wasn't pretty good at pretending and just looked at other people playing the game, which made for this amazing reaction shot of him watching somebody die. But yeah, I wouldn't have made it through this game. I'm really sensible to sound, and licking and spitting sounds are not my strong point.
Vomits!
Oh no!
Did they just break it?
After this competition, there was one guy portrayed as the most hated man in this room, being 432 for bullying a guy and being a squid hole throughout the whole game. During all that, we find out that he dropped out of his last semester in college, meaning that he really needs the money. Not like other people, like for example, the mom, who apparently was a publisher for the New York Times. The next game was the one thing that changed the source material the most. I mean, except of the single fact that instead of getting shot in the head, there's just a device that explodes and puts some paint in here. Is that the third game was Warship. Instead of playing tug of war, they still had to build teams in a similar size. Most of the team was placed in one of the ships, and two of the people were captains. They had to decide where to shoot. Now, if your boat got eliminated, you were eliminated from the game. If you are just shot but not eliminated, like if your boat or your placement on the boat just got shot and your boat didn't get eliminated, you were fine. If you eliminated two boats from the opposing team, the opposing team captain and co-captain were out, meaning you had a better shot in one of the boats than one of the team leaders. Anyways, now we come to one thing that got really clear in this moment, that a bunch of people do not seem to really need the prize money of $4.5 million, which yes, the prize money is a lot, and even a bunch of rich people would love to have this amount. But if you work in game development, as a game tester, I think you get not that little of money. Or I don't know, if you were an ex-pro basketball player. Now imagine you're a struggling father, single father of 3, and get eliminated by LeBron James telling you that he needs the money more than you. I don't know the basketball player, to be honest, but he doesn't seem like he has that big of money issues. During the game, 432, the villain of the story, or this is how he got portrayed, with every scene where people talked about him was, we hate him, we do not like him. And the only person that was nice to him was that one mom, and she only was nice to him so she could be in a team with him in tug of war. And not even that was possible because he didn't let her. He was in one of the boats, didn't know how to play the game, was bitching about the team leader, and then he gets eliminated. Yeah, this is the end for our little guy. And the best part of it was that during that, the other team was cheering because they just eliminated the second boat, and he thought they were cheering because they eliminated him specifically. And I'm like, bro, no, not everything is about you. The other people cheered because they eliminated somebody and won the game. He was like, I didn't cheer like that when you got voted out. What the fuck? No, you were shit talking 24/7. And the funny thing is, I just found him on TikTok, and he is like that on TikTok too. Before filming this, I filmed the other part in the living room, and I wanted to argue with you that he isn't that bad of a guy. And then I see TikToks of him where he is still really narcissistic and an asshole to people, which either he does it to hate bait and get attention, which I highly think, but yeah, he's actually that way, and he is assholey. I don't know, I tried to defend him. By now, though, I start to really like characters of the Squid Game. It could be because a lot of people got eliminated and now we focus more on certain individuals, but I really like and enjoy the people that are left now. So I hope that they aren't going to do something snaky like.
We are decimated. Now everybody had to line up and stand in front of a keypad where they had to put in a number of one of the contestants that they wanted out. The 3 people with the most votes are getting out. Another fun rule is that if you vote for somebody the first time, this is going to be displayed. Meaning, if I vote for the first time for the number 1, the face of number 1 will appear up on display. This game went by pretty smoothly. The first person voted out a guy that went around previously telling everybody how much he misses being home and wants to go home, which was a lie. He did not want to go home. Bad plate, buddy. Bad plate. Then the mom went on and she voted out 161. Who did a bad bitch move, going up to the mom and being like, I need to see your number so I won't miss tip. Another girl voted out a psychiatrist that was pretty involved in everybody's business because he was a psychiatrist and tried to help people. He repaid the favor and tried to vote her out, but the first 3 that got voted, meaning 161, the guy that wanted to go home, and the psychiatrist, were voted out just because, yeah, they were the first 3 people who were voted and nobody really wanted to put another name in the hat. To be honest, as a bit, I would have gone last in the line and then just vote myself. And the next time somebody decides to vote someone else out, I would have just been voted out myself. And next was another vote where they had to play Jack in the Box with different things written on the Jack in the Box. Like, vote 3 people out, vote 2 people out, vote 1 people out. Have an advantage in the next game, or you are eliminated. Part 1 ends with a task. A bunch of people had to make orange juice. They had to cut oranges and to turn them into juice, and if they filled 3 bottles, big bottles up, they were allowed a reward for everybody. The reward was a picnic for 2, a romantic one. So everybody picked their best friends and they started picnicking. During that, it was a really lovely moment where everybody was sitting together with their best friend, and oh my god, they're marbles. They're marbles. They hid marbles in the baskets. I saw that coming from a mile. When they said pair up, I was like, oh no. And the thing is, there was this one guy that didn't get any marbles because he was alone. Everybody is like crying for finding marbles, knowing what's going to happen. And he's like, people, my basket don't have marbles. What does that mean? Now you might ask, how was part 1 for me? It was exhausting. 450 something players are way too many players for a fucking game show. I'm sorry, for a Squid Game show. I could not tell people apart. I'm going to be honest, I'm really bad at it. This is, for example, one reason why I didn't watch House of Cards. I cannot tell those old men apart. I didn't even get who is Cards and where was his house. The show, all in all, though, wasn't too bad. Plus, the original creator, Wang Dong-hyuk, stated that he himself doesn't mind it to be a real reality show or reality game show, and says that the show wasn't too serious. You can't do a game show out of it. He doesn't mind. He had a saying and everything, and he liked it.
Now, I think that the show was pretty good. It was a bit psychological torture for a bunch of people. A lot of people cried. It was a bit unfair. I think it was 200 that immediately got voted off just because he said hi. There wasn't too much controversy, like everybody was hung up with the lawsuit, even though it was a bunch of people that were just probably fine. Not too much happened. There was this one girl that rewatched the show that she was on and had to get wasted before doing that because it was psychologically a burden, which I believe, but I hope that nobody got real issues afterwards. As I said, I tried to hate the show, but in the end I kind of liked it. I teared up when those 2 got eliminated, as well as a few other people who got eliminated. It was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. You can watch it, and yeah, if you want me to review the next parts, because it's out leave a like, leave a comment how awesome I am, and I might consider watching the rest. Okay, bye.